Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to welcome you aboard. We kindly ask that you fasten your seatbelt.
And eat your fucking nuts. This is Confessions on the Fly with
LJ
and Flight Attendant Joe. Welcome back, everybody, to Confessions on the Fly. Hey, LJ.
Hey.
You know what? Something's off. Who is that person over there?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I don't even know.
I don't
Who
see
is this
anybody
woman
here.
over here? Hello! Yay!
Hello.
We have our first guest star here,
Hey!
Taylor, who is a postman. Am I correct? No.
No.
Flight attendant.
We have a flight attendant here?
Yes, we do.
Oh my, 3 flight attendants?
I'm a stewardess.
Oh, okay. It's going to be like that today.
I love it. This is very exciting. This is our first guest that we've had on our podcast.
Yes,
And
very exciting.
We thought it'd be really fun to talk about a day in the life of a flight attendant.
Yeah, because everyone is always asking, like, what's it like? Where do you fly? Why?
What do you do?
Do they pay for your hotel room?
Do you have
Do you get to stay wherever you fly?
Yes, exactly.
Do you have to buy your own food?
What, you get that one?
Oh, yeah.
I've never heard that one.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, they don't feed us.
I get the, like, do you have, like, matching pajamas? And I was like, yes, we have matching uniform pajamas.
No.
Well, actually, I get. Do you guys sleep in the same room a lot?
Oh,
like
okay.
as a crew.
Oh, God,
Like,
I wish we could
no,
sleep.
but I kind of do.
Sometimes I wish I could stay in the pilot's rooms, but that's just me and probably you guys too. I don't know. I'm not going to speak on. Well, I know you're filthy, but I don't know. Taylor's a good girl, I would
She's
expect.
a nice girl. If they're from Boston, I'll definitely want to sleep in there.
Yes, Taylor, where are you from?
I'm from Los Angeles.
I'm
California.
sorry.
You're so mean today. He hates it here.
I do not like this town.
It's the best coast.
Now,
Santa Monica.
She lives,
I live in Santa Monica, so
lives
it's
by the beach.
It's a little beachy. It's a little
Okay.
city. It's
Okay.
a little, and it's west of the 405. So
Is that important here?
Yeah.
Like so west of the 405 is the beach.
yeah,
So Venice, Santa Monica, and then east of the 405 is hell.
yeah, it's hot.
Yeah.
It's
Oh.
dirty.
That's
It's
why.
nasty. So come visit me.
Now I've been
like-
to like, is Beverly Hills west of the 405 or that doesn't
not.
count?
It's different.
No.
It's like
It's different, but it's not. It's east of the 405 from me.
Interesting.
so. This is a big deal because she crossed the 405 to
I
get
did.
here. So
I
that's
don't
a
know.
big
What
deal
does
for
that
people.
mean though? Tell me what, because I live in the Bay Area.
She basically went to another country to come here.
Oh.
Traffic. Yeah,
Okay. Traffic. It's just terrible.
Just a little bit more traffic.
We're grateful that you're here
Now,
and just share your experiences with us.
you're based in LA, right?
Yes.
So how is it driving to the airport? Is it good, bad?
Luckily, on the west side, you can take side streets, so you don't have to be on the freeway to get to the airport.
Okay.
So a lot of times I'll put in my navigation and it will be like turn left on this street, right? And then all of a
Right.
sudden I'm there.
Okay. So that's
So-
not so bad.
Yeah, and as long as you time it correctly, then you just kind of add time to however long it'll take. It'll take a half hour. Put in for an hour just in case.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
Well, we want to know, the reason why we want to have a flight attendant on was just so we have a different perspective, but also want to know, who are these people that fly and do this for a living? Why did you get into this industry? Do you have somebody else that you know who does this? How long have you been doing it? Things like that, just so we can get another perspective.
Are you mentally ill to be a flight
I don't
attendant?
want to say that.
Both.
But yes.
No.
Why
As a
would you do
basis, mentally ill. On top, building off of that,
Right.
my mom has worked for the airline since I was in elementary school.
Oh, okay.
wow.
And so you get a beyond benefits. And when I was in college, I was living in Hawaii, and my mom's airline, their benefits dropped to 21. Like once you're 21, then you get cut off.
Oh, okay.
So, and I was turning 21 like that year.
Wow.
So I was like, oh, you know what? My mom was like, you can have buddy passes, whatever.
Yeah.
I paid for 2 buddy passes, and I was like, no.
No.
No,
This
I need
is too
free
expensive.
stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
why?
A lot of people
Exactly.
think buddy passes are free, and they're not.
No.
They're not.
And you do have to pay, and then you'll tell them, and they're like, "Oh my God, it's that much." I'm like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
for $150 more, you can just buy a ticket,"
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that's what I recommend.
If it's last minute, like if you were to buy a ticket that day, then buddy passes are great. But if it's in the future, just buy a ticket.
Right.
The first time.
Because you're confirmed.
Yeah. And you
Right.
have a seat and
You have a seat.
You have to stress about it. Yeah.
And then you don't have to bother me.
I've only done a buddy pass once for myself. A friend who actually got me the job. When my dad was sick, he offered a buddy pass to get me back to the East Coast. And I was like, oh, wow. And he goes, yeah, that's what these are for. Those last minute, instant,
exactly.
all of a sudden, like, you have to go now.
Or if it's somewhere far.
Correct.
That you're just kind of, I want to go for fun. My dates are very flexible.
Exactly.
Then cool.
Then go.
But you also have to remember you're going to be sleeping on airport floors.
Right.
Constant, yeah.
You know, waiting at the airport for hours.
Figuring
and
it out.
sitting in a middle seat in coach.
Yeah.
So that's so you were like, I need to become I need to get into the airline industry so I can just fly for free.
I didn't care what it was.
Okay.
I was like, I'll be the janitor. Just give me a free flight.
Free flights.
Luckily.
So you're a
And
traveler.
as a flight attendant, you are kind of the janitor, so that makes sense.
yes.
Yeah,
A glorified janitor.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Thank you very much.
You wear wings and you clean up the bathroom.
There
so,
you
yeah,
go.
that makes sense.
There you go. So you had the travel bug to begin with.
Oh, yeah.
So that was just
I'm
something
only in it for the benefits.
Okay. There you go.
Oh, I love the
that.
honesty.
Yeah.
Only in it for the benefits.
Get
I love that. Now, when you interviewed, and I'm sure they asked you why you want to be a flight attendant.
Did you say that? Please tell me you did.
I
that's what you're
definitely
supposed to say.
I said I love traveling. I didn't mention anything about like having airlines in my family because
Right.
I didn't want them to say, oh, what airline or
Okay.
any. So I said I just really love traveling and I love working with people.
Nice.
One of those was a lie, and you already know which one's the truth.
Yes.
Well, I used to actually do flight attendant interviews. And I remember when you would ask that question, like, why do you want to be a flight attendant? And they'd be like, I want to give the best customer. I'd be like, no. Why do you want to be a flight attendant?
You're a liar.
I want to travel. Exactly. Thank you very much. Do you think I want to hand out Diet Cokes and bags of nuts and pick up urine-soaked tissues on the bathroom? No. Well, that's fun sometimes, but no, it's not. So no, I want to be able to fly for free and just hop on an airplane and be done.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree.
It's amazing.
That's fantastic.
I want to last minute decide, I want to go to Thailand today.
Yeah.
And go.
Have you ever, you just triggered something in my brain. Have you ever had, I've always had this fantasy of going to the airport, not knowing where I was going to go and look up at the board and say, which flight has the most open seats? Or like walk up to the ticket counter and be like, hi, air whatever. What airplane has the most seats? Oh, Bangkok. All right. I guess that's where I'm going today.
God,
like
that would be amazing.
that's a fantasy. I almost get a little excited.
I'd do that with you.
I would definitely do that.
Doesn't that sound exciting?
I kind of did it. I went to Thailand, and I'd been saying that I wanted to go to Thailand,
I remember.
and I had a week off, and the day, my first day off, I decided that day, booked Airbnbs and my flights that day. So it wasn't as impromptu as I'm at the airport. Where am I going to go? I don't know. It was,
but still,
But a little bit. But,
still.
But still, it was the day. So it was Tuesday. You woke up and said, I'm going to go to Thailand today.
No, I definitely called my mom, my mom called me, and she was like, what are you doing? Like, I know you have this week off. And I was like, oh, I'm going to Thailand. She was like, haha, very funny. What are you doing? No.
I'm going to Thailand.
My flight is at 7. I'm going to Thailand.
Love it.
That's amazing.
And that's what you did.
Oh, and she freaked out.
That's amazing.
Oh, and you went alone.
Great. Oh, yeah, I went by myself.
High five. That's amazing.
She's
Sorry.
amazing.
That's
That's
very, I love that. We filmed an episode where we were talking about our vacations. And I asked LJ, she had traveled, what was your friend's name?
Talia.
Talia. She had traveled with Talia. And I was like, were you afraid? Do you ever get afraid when you travel alone to foreign countries?
Because you traveled alone. I traveled alone with somebody, a friend. That's not really alone.
I get more scared in the U.S., like in cities I don't know, rather than other countries. Wow. I don't know why.
Right.
I think it's more of...
Like Newark. It's frightening. I don't want to leave the hotel.
Newark?
Yeah. Oh, your people. They frighten me. Should I look at they frighten me. Her people frighten me. We've talked about this all season. What's wrong with you're rough?
We're rough and tumble, but still really cute.
They make you run from the hotel van into the hotel, and then you have to duck and roll, and they're like, wear this jacket. Why? Because
you didn't learn that in preschool? That's what I did.
I'm from Connecticut, where it's a little not as bad. But
That's how I feel about Florida.
I lived there for 25 years.
You get me in Florida, and I'm like, whoa, who are these creatures? I live here.
Yeah.
Those are Puerto Ricans. Can I say that? I think I can. Oh, well, it's my show. I can.
I'm not Hispanic, so I'm not offended.
Don't be offended. Well, nobody's going to be offended because anyone in Florida is like, yup, that's right. So there you go.
No,
Sit here and
honestly,
pray.
it's the
That's all I'm doing is
old
just
rich
praying.
white people
Oh,
that get me. I'm like,
Old rich white people are the
No.
worst.
No.
I was just working a flight the other day. Where was I going? Fort Lauderdale to Boston. And I literally said, I can't stand white people. Like this woman was like, her son, they had assigned seats and her son just sat wherever he wanted. And I said, oh, that's not your seat. And she's like, well, that's where he wants to sit.
no.
And I was like, I didn't realize you were the boss.
Didn't work.
So then I was like, no. And then they didn't want a middle seat. And then the husband was in another seat. And I was like, what's going on here? And she's like, he doesn't want to, my son wants to sit there. And my husband doesn't want to sit in the middle seat. And I was like, well, unfortunately,
doesn't
everything you
work.
just said is not happening.
Yeah.
Bless your heart
So
for thinking
sweet.
that's a thing.
husband
but
in the
it's
middle.
No.
And then the woman who sat in the aisle, she's like, I've seen you before. You're very funny. I was like, oh,
I know.
thank you very much.
Follow the podcast.
Buy a book or two.
Buy a book.
So, and follow the podcast. So, yeah, a day in the life of a flight attendant. I know what it's like for me to be a flight attendant.
Mm-hmm.
It's very stressful and I hate going to work. What's it like for you? Like, how do you feel about being a flight attendant?
Give us a little idea. Well, first of all, do you have a line at your airline or do you?
I don't.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a reserve flight attendant with us. Is that correct?
I'm a reserve.
This is perfect. Well, it's terrible, but perfect for this.
Yes.
I shouldn't
we
even.
haven't talked about
I don't
this.
take offense of it.
I'm not talking to you anymore.
Okay. How long?
I'm on a lower pay scale.
Can we ask
Yes.
how long you've been flying?
Almost 5 years.
Okay, wow. Okay.
Wow.
Reserve.
Yes.
Okay.
Why is that?
Tell us.
So
People want to know.
there are times where I could have had a line,
Okay.
a set schedule,
Okay.
but I'm at the point where I get to choose my days off being reserved.
Okay.
So I'm on call on the days that I don't care about, and the days that I do care about, my weekends, I have off.
Okay.
Okay.
So if
that matters
I
more.
were holding a line, I would be bottom of the barrel scraping
Yeah.
the crap trips
Okay.
that no one else wants to work.
And now your base is LAX. Is it a junior base, a senior base?
It's senior.
It's senior?
Yeah.
So that's probably why.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
There's
you'll
not a
be
lot
on
of
it.
movement.
Okay.
Hence why 5 years
Right.
So if you
crawling my way up the reserve.
Crawling,
if
literally.
you went to another base, so if you went to Chicago or whatever, you can.
I would have had a line.
You would have a line
years ago.
Okay. All right.
4 years.
But you're choosing.
I'm choosing because I'm a West Coast girl.
and you want to stay local and not have to commute to work.
Yeah.
Got it.
I'd rather
Good to
have
know.
a 30-minute drive than a 6-hour flight.
Got it. That makes total sense.
That's just me.
So just give us a rundown so for people who don't know what reserve means.
Yes. Because I don't even remember what it means. It's been decades.
You block it out of your mind.
Yeah, I hate it.
So you have your blocks of days that you're working and then your blocks of days that are off. And so when you are working, you can either be at home on call, at the airport on call, or on a trip. And so
So you get whatever they give you.
yeah. You don't get a say in, oh, wait, I don't want to wake up at 3 a.m. I'd rather wake up in the afternoon.
You
or
have no say in
You have
that.
no say. And so you just kind of, whatever they give you.
So
but
they call you and say,
Yeah.
hey, this is your trip today.
the day before.
So you're basically their bitch.
Oh, yes.
But you have the days off that you need and then
So it works for you.
It works for me.
Cool.
And when you're a senior reserve,
okay. So that's you,
yeah,
basically.
you can, pref bid for trips that are on your days that you work.
Okay.
So you can say, oh, if no one else takes that trip, I want that trip. And you
Okay.
get first priority.
Okay.
So most of the time, I get to pref bid trips where I am working trips that I want to work.
Oh, okay.
So
So
that's
it's not so bad.
So it's kind of like knowing what you're having an idea of knowing what you're going to
Yeah.
do, but also having that little bit of ooh, what is today going to bring?
Yeah. And it's actually really exciting to be,
cool.
you know, it's kind of like that where you don't know where you're going to go.
Right.
You just show up at the airport and they tell you where to go.
I think that's great.
You're told
Yeah,
where to
as
go.
long as you're happy with that.
I am happy.
Like I start, when you say the words reserve, I can't say them. What is it?
Reserve.
Thank you.
Oh my God.
Yeah, like I start shaking. I'm just
Flashbacks.
You're having a moment.
Well, I used to have an iPhone, and when I was on reserve, I had this one ringtone on my iPhone for crew scheduling to call. And if I hear that ringtone, like in a Target,
twitch?
I scream and fall to the floor in a fetus position, and
Easy.
they have to come and get me.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I can't,
It's very
yeah,
frightening.
it's terrifying. It's terrifying. I don't even, at this point in my career, I don't even remember the last time I talked to crew scheduling.
Oh God.
I don't think I have the number.
That's crazy.
I don't have the number in my phone.
Oh my gosh.
I remember a couple weeks ago, I was like, I need crew scheduling's number, and I had to ask somebody. And then I put it in my phone, but it wasn't in my phone for a while because I don't talk to these people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I try to avoid talking to them as much as possible.
Yeah, it's rough for me. I love it when flight attendants have like the Darth Vader soundtrack for when they call, and I'm always like, I know
absolutely.
what that's like.
Mine's a
Oh, that's terrible.
That's
to wake me up
terrible.
out of my sleep because I'm
course.
probably asleep.
Yeah.
So now when you get up, say 3:00 in the morning, they call you. I want to know, like, for a reserve, because I haven't done it for so long, what's it like still? Like, I want to know if I can relate.
So if they were to call me at 3 a.m., usually I have an alarm that goes off at 3 a.m. so I can sleep. I know that I'm on call at that time, and then I can kind of go back to sleep.
Rest.
But I know that
You're not like in a deep sleep.
yeah, I'm not in a deep sleep because I know that they might call. I'm usually waking up.
I'm like getting a panic attack.
Do you go to bed at like 7 at night?
I usually just go to bed whenever I'm tired.
Okay.
Just because if you force your sleep, then I don't want to be up at 3 a.m. just
Right.
like,
Yeah.
I'm ready to go.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So if they were to call at 3 a.m., I would have might have been slightly awake anyway.
Mm-hmm.
They call, they give me a trip or tell me where to go, or where I'm going, and my schedule for if I'm gone for 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, whatever trip I am working, they tell me what I have. I'm usually packed the night before and have my suitcase in the car, so I just put stuff in my lunchbox, grab my stuff and go.
You prepare to be gone for that many days.
Yeah.
So how does that work with like life situations? That's always I get that question a lot from people of like, well, how do you like live your life? Because your life kind of stops when you're gone. Like, how do you stay connected to people? And like, obviously you can't make plans when you have those days of being on call, quote unquote, because you could be gone, you could not be gone. What is that like with the work-life balance, I would say, or like relationships or like, you know what I mean? That kind of stuff.
First of all, my poor cat.
Oh, you have a cat?
Yes.
What's your cat's name?
Percy Gray Pennywise Catson.
Percy. That's a lot. Percy. I'm just going to say Percy. I have a cousin with my cousin's cat's name's Percy. I have two cats too. I love cats. Cats are my favorite thing.
I hate cats.
I don't even know why I do this show with you. You're fired. Hey, it's Confessions on the Fly with Taylor, and I'm going to take it first time though. Now, Flight Attendant Joe and Taylor, because I don't know how my name got second, but
Well, my flight attendant name's actually the girl with wings. I gave it to myself when I started flying.
really?
Yeah.
so
Do you have a blog?
I thought about it, and I
that's
like
cute.
kind of started doing one, and then I just kind of lost interest because I usually go to the same places.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So I was like, oh, let's talk about Boston one more time, you know. But I'm there, you know. I've been in Seattle a lot
I've spent
lately,
a whole summer. I think it was last summer. I swear to God, I went to the same hotel every week that they were like, "Oh, you're back again. Here's your room," and I was like, "This is not good."
Yes.
That you see
I'm
me
almost
that
at that
much.
point.
Yeah.
So how many times can I talk about Seattle, Washington,
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
on a blog?
No,
so
I
you
get
just
it.
Yeah,
no,
so
but I love that name.
but yeah,
I like that, the girl
So
with wings.
anytime I'm traveling or if I'm doing something fun, I just tag my or like that's so
Your
then I
little
can look
hashtag.
back.
That's cute.
Yeah, right now it's a hashtag.
Mine is I'm the accidental flight attendant. How the hell did I get up here?
Yeah, that's
like
great.
it.
I'm telling you, that's going to be a TV show. It's going to be a movie.
gonna be my book.
It's going to be a book. She's going to write
He's
a book.
gonna make me write a book.
I'm going to make you write a book.
Yes.
I second that.
But like LJ was saying, like how does being a reserve flight attendant affect your?
life,
Do you
social
date?
life.
Do you not date?
I was dating someone for a hot minute.
Okay.
And
Was the schedule a thing?
not really.
Okay.
We just kind of made it work.
Okay.
I think everyone, when I first started flying, everyone was kind of confused. They were wondering why I was always sleeping when I was home.
Oh, okay.
And never wanted to
true.
do anything.
That's true, yeah.
Or I was really flaky.
Okay.
But as time goes on, people just kind of, oh, that's your schedule.
That's-
Oh, she's a flight attendant.
Yeah, you have no say.
Yeah.
In what you do.
She's a stewardess.
Yeah,
she's a stewardess.
Coffee, tea, or meat.
Oh, wow. I did not realize it was going to be like that. But so you were dating someone. So you guys were making it work. But was it an airline person?
No.
a non-airline
No.
person.
Was it a TSA agent?
No.
Just asking.
Non-airline people.
No. Oh, no.
I did not meet them at the airport.
Okay.
A lot of people always ask me when I'm working, other flight attendants, when I talk about my husband, they'll be like, oh, does he work here? I'm like, no.
Dear God,
No.
Stop.
When I'm home, I want to be home.
I want to be home.
Stop.
I don't want to talk anything about airlines.
Do you have, here's a good question.
Wait, I have one more. But did they live? Did they live in California, or did you meet them somewhere else?
No, they lived in
Oh,
California.
okay, cool.
But I do have this new idea of doing Bumble wherever I lay over and having different hoes in all my area codes where I go.
Yes!
And then just starting a thing where I go on random Bumble dates and like talk about like, well, in Seattle again, went out with Joe.
This guy.
And he was great.
This is amazing.
Wow. So you want to be
on the road.
you want to be a Bumble
on the
hoe.
road.
I don't
On
know.
Hoe on the road.
Bumble's like Tinder, right? But not as
not
dirty.
dirty.
Classier.
Not dirty.
So you want to be a Bumble hoe because it's classier.
Yeah, because I'm not
like
taking
that.
you back to my hotel
Yeah,
room.
no.
Oh, you're
but
just
I
going
want
on
you
a
to
date.
buy me dinner.
Oh my God, you're a hoe.
Like, I want you to pick me up at my hotel
Right.
and take me out and, like, leave where I'm usually walking around.
Right.
But, like-
And then bring me back. And then I say, bye, bye.
Have a nice dinner. And that's
then I
that's
rate
actually
you.
a
That's
date.
actually what a
you
date is.
don't
Yeah.
have to sleep. Flight attendants and pilots. This is more for pilots. You don't have to sleep with everybody
everyone.
5 minutes after you meet them.
That's not a handshake.
No, that's a hand
Put it
job.
away.
Exactly. So that's great. But
Good
now
job,
do you
guys.
do that or no? You just
I just started thinking about it because I was
That's
trying to get someone to take me out in Seattle.
That's what's going to happen this weekend. So if anybody wants to hit
Oh
up
my
Taylor
God.
this weekend.
If you're in Seattle,
Well, you know, I like that because you're doing it, but it's not filthy, dirty, disgusting
No,
where you're
she's
going to
not
go
gross.
home with like some kind of thing that you don't want to, that you left your house without, like gonorrhea or something.
Gross.
Nobody wants to go to Seattle and get gonorrhea. You can get that from walking down the street, I think.
God.
But that's exciting. You know, I find that a lot of flight attendants tend to, there's like a bad rap with flight attendants regarding they're all hoes.
Yeah.
And I don't think that that's true.
No, I don't think so at all.
Do you know a lot of hoes?
Do you know?
It's
you
a
know
day in the
lot
life of the flight attendant.
I just know of a lot of scandal. It's not necessarily hoes. It's just people don't get out enough that they just interweave with different people.
Oh, okay.
Now-
So, like, yeah, that's why so many flight attendants date pilots. It's because they don't get outside of their
world.
bubble
Yeah.
of working.
Yeah.
That they're like, oh, actually, this 60-year-old man with balding, like, that's balding and smiled at me today, he actually is really attractive.
No.
Well,
no.
I was not pointing at you.
Well, yeah, you were
I
looking
don't
at me
think-
and I was like, I'm not
I was
60.
saying, like,
Yeah.
as a flight attendant, if you're not getting attention anywhere else,
Yeah.
and a pilot gives you attention, that's how they get
Legs
that's
up,
how
yeah.
they,
That's how they get in.
Yeah.
And literally,
They're
that's
just, it's
how
very
they get in.
incestuous business.
yeah.
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 So I wouldn't say flight attendants are hoes. They're just very incestual.
Gotcha.
you-
Okay, before we get to this.
I did have a question, but now
Yes.
I forgot it.
No. Oh.
Yeah.
Really?
It's gone.
I want to do this, but before we get to that, I want to know your craziest airline story because I know you have one. So give us, because that's what everyone wants to hear. Like, give us
Yes.
your dirt. Give us your story.
I have so many.
We all do.
Yes,
But give
like
us
I
one
could
of
go
your
all
top.
day. But my top one is
Give us
I
a
was
theme.
actually-
Is it about a crazy passenger? Is it a?
it was about a passenger
Okay.
in a restroom.
Ooh. Dun dun dun. Let's set the scene. Passenger.
The story is called "The Paraplegic in the Lavatory."
Oh, it has a title.
That's the title.
That's a good story. Go ahead.
So
We're enthralled.
I actually wasn't working the flight. I was deadheading. And I just noticed that someone else that was deadheading went up to the front of the plane. And I was watching a movie, and I can kind of see that they were struggling with something. And my conscience said, go up, help them. And so I go up, and a man who is a paraplegic, couldn't use his legs, had wet himself.
Oh, that's terrible.
So they were trying to be discreet and trying to help him go into the bathroom so he can, clean himself off. He was a little out of it because he wasn't embarrassed by the situation.
Okay.
So it made it easier that he wasn't like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
So anyway, we're using the wheelchair that you use on a plane.
Okay.
They had gotten him into the wheelchair, and so then we're pulling him to the bathroom.
Okay.
And then we were trying to get him into the bathroom, but the wheelchair's not made to go into the bathroom. It's to the bathroom so that you can then walk into the bathroom.
Right.
So we're trying to get him. And the 3 flight attendants that we were all trying to get him into the bathroom, none of us had the arm strength to hold up a man that could not stand up by himself.
Gotcha.
Because we would, you would stand him up and then his legs would buckle because he couldn't use his legs.
Sure.
But he had a good sense about himself. He wasn't
embarrassed.
Spirits.
He was like he kind of was just like glazed over.
Okay.
So whether he just kind of like disassociates himself with what was happening. So anyway, a man and a paramedic came and helped us get him into the bathroom.
Okay.
Nice.
But the man was too big, so I was on the ground helping getting him in. So we had him stood up. The paramedic was standing above the toilet holding under his arms holding him. And it is a very tiny space. The wheelchair's still like next to me, like poking me, and I'm helping. And so then we tell him, okay, like when we lift you up, pull your pants down. And he just, nothing.
Right.
So,
No.
I got to pull his pants down.
Oh my God.
His dirty pee pants.
Oh, that's above and beyond.
That's above and beyond.
Luckily,
your call
he was
of
in
duty.
sweats and wasn't wearing any underwear, so it was just kind of like a.
You had gloves on?
I don't think I did. Oh wait, no, I did. We did put gloves on. I remember.
I almost fell.
Yeah.
Your hair almost fell over.
I did.
It's
bad
That was
because of my
rough.
thing,
That was
you know.
rough.
Yeah. So that was a really fun time.
Wow.
Seeing a man's penis on a plane.
Oh, it was right in your face.
It was literally right
I was
there.
on my knees.
Don't get Joe. That's a lot for Joe.
I did not expect that.
Did not expect that to happen.
Did not expect that. You were on your knees pulling a man's pants down
There
who's
you go.
paraplegic.
Yeah.
You'll go to heaven. So that's good because that's one of those things that you'll go to heaven for.
For sure.
Yeah.
I'm going to heaven and I don't even believe in it. So, because I was a nurse and there's certain things you do in life when you care for someone else that is automatically universe, heaven, happiness. Because when you pull a stranger's pants down that are soaked in urine on your knees without gloves and making minimum wage, it's terrible. I imagine.
Oh, that's a
terrible.
lot.
I just imagine him being someone else. He's someone else's grandpa or dad or
brother
uncle or something.
Yeah, you know.
And
You'd want someone to care for your family.
Your family member, you
exactly.
yourself, if you were in that position too.
And it wasn't until I told someone else what had happened that they were so appalled. Like, you did that? It really registered. Yeah, I guess that is weird.
I should
it
have
was
put
just
gloves
more
on.
funny. Well, no, I had gloves on.
Oh, I thought you said you
No,
didn't.
I didn't think I did, but I remember because we were handling people. I didn't want to have gloves on being like, ew, you are a nasty little woman.
No.
But because he had
of course.
wet himself,
Right.
Yeah.
I just had a lavatory situation where the woman asked her husband, she wanted assistance going to the bathroom. And I said, oh, does he need help? And then she said, yes. She was very mean. And then I even held the lavatory. She hated me. This woman hated me for some reason. I even held the lavatory door open. The
to help
lead
him in.
flight attendant was up there. And after the fact, I went through picking up trash. And when I got to the back, I was doing my thing, and the lead flight attendant came to the back. He goes, "Wow, she really hated you." Because when her husband sat down, she said, "At least you're nice."
What?
And I was like, well, you know what?
You can't please everyone.
I didn't like her either. So I could, so it's even. So we're even.
Yeah.
Maybe she wanted me to wipe her husband's ass, but I'm no Taylor, so I'm not pulling anyone's pants down, and I'm not doing all that. But I held the lav door open. I asked I was like, does he need any assistance? What does he need? Because I'm not just going to go pick someone up.
And then to be like, bye, good luck.
And then I was just like, I held the door and I was like, all right, well, help him in. And then I was going, but she didn't,
That's above and beyond. You know what I mean? And those moments, I think, happen more than...
Oh, she also screamed that he was in the Korean War before I was born and I should respect him.
Oh.
So I think she wanted me to wipe his ass. And I was like, no, like I said before, I'm no Taylor. She does it all.
She does it all. You do it all. Taylor, we are so grateful that you're here. Before you go, we want to play a game. We have a game that's called Rapid Flyer.
I love this game. This is LJ's idea, by the way.
This is going to be rapid fire questions that we are going to...
I'm gonna keep the timer, right?
Keep a little timer there.
I'm gonna keep a timer.
As fast as you can.
Oh my God, let me have
first thing that comes to your mind.
Timer.
All good things. Let's get Joe ready.
Alrighty.
So these are just airline questions.
Okay.
So whenever you're ready.
I'm ready when you go.
Okay, here we go. Favorite layover?
New York.
Never leave home without?
My cell phone.
Okay. Kids or pets?
Pets.
Diet Coke or coffee?
Diet Coke. Coke Zero.
Red eyes, yes or no?
Yeah.
First thing you do at a hotel?
Change out of my uniform.
Go out or are you a slam clicker?
Go out.
Favorite position, lead flight attendant or aft galley?
Aft galley. You work with less people.
Is that it?
No, wait, one more. One place you've never visited and always wanted to go.
Tokyo.
Yeah, 34 seconds. That's good. You had a minute,
good.
and that's good. Unfortunately, we don't have anything to give you.
Yeah.
But no.
our love and adoration.
But that was fun, right?
It was fun.
What did you get nervous?
I did get nervous. I felt like I was on Family Feud.
Yeah,
Family Feud. Battle round at the end where you're like, what's the best answer?
Oh my God. Yeah, I said pets too, because I hate kids. I mean, I don't like kids on the other hand.
I really like kids. But I have a pet, and I feel like if my cat ever heard this, he would be so offended.
Oh, if your cat knew that you liked kids.
No.
Done.
I love that.
Done.
So thank you very much.
Currently.
Pets.
Currently pets.
I
I
wish to have kids one day.
Oh, that's nice.
If it happens. There you go.
If they're made.
Aww.
If they're made. You can buy them. What?
Yeah.
You can.
You can be an aunt or an uncle or
a godmother.
Easy.
You can go, I think there's cafes where you can go pet. No, that's a cat cafe. Never mind. I thought.
Anyway.
You go to like
Well,
a
that's a
daycare.
daycare.
What if you went into a daycare and said, I don't have kids, but I was just going to get some coffee and play with these?
Yeah.
That would be amazing. Sounds a little creepy.
That's slightly creepy.
I think it's an idea that could make millions. I'm going to try it.
I love this. Thank you so
If
much
I held babies, I would.
Yeah.
Just like
I do like to hold babies.
drink and hold.
drink hold.
That's it.
We thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you, Taylor, for being our first guest ever.
Last little words of wisdom or anything you want to give to flyers out there?
Be nice to your flight attendants, and they'll be nice to you. If you want anything on an airplane, if you want to be treated like you are in first class, but you are in a middle seat back in coach, bring the flight attendants gifts, even if it's little chocolates or just saying thank you. The other day I had a lady as I was going through with our beverage service. She stopped me and said, "How is your day going? How is your flight going?"
That's nice.
Because she could tell that I was a little stressed and anxious because we had a couple different issues going on. Yeah. And she stopped me and just treated me as a normal human being. And I was like, oh my gosh, thank you. And
that's awesome.
And then I gave her another Diet Coke because she
See? Be nice to your flight attendants. It'll get you so much.
And travel.
Yeah.
Be nice, travel, and bring treats. Love it. Well, thank you, Taylor, for being here with us today. That was so much fun, and we really, really appreciate it. Thank you guys for listening in. And
this is Confessions on the Fly. Fly safe, birdies. I'm LJ.
And I am Flight Attendant Joe with Taylor, our guest star. Thank you, guys.
Bye.